On the afternoon of September 6, 2024, Super Typhoon Yagi made landfall in the coastal areas of Wenchang City, Hainan Province, China, with maximum wind speeds reaching level 17. The maximum wind speed near the center reached 62 meters per second, classifying it as a super typhoon. On the 6th, most areas of Hainan Island experienced heavy rainstorms, and some cities and counties suffered widespread water and power outages. All local schools were closed. Wherever the typhoon passed, many buildings and houses were destroyed, and a large number of trees were uprooted. This video shows scenes of coconut trees being blown down by the typhoon on the streets of Wenchang, Hainan. The following video shows the scene of a typhoon shattering the glass windows of a resident's home. This video shows scenes of many people being knocked to the ground by the strong winds. This video shows the shocking scene of strong winds blowing away the windows of people's homes. Typhoon Yagi reached wind speeds of level 17, causing massive destruction wherever it passed. Trees were uprooted by the typhoon and many tall buildings swayed in the wind. Some residents described it as feeling like a magnitude 8 earthquake. Those living on higher floors were too scared to stay in their apartments and rushed to the corners of the lobby on the first floor to take shelter. This video shows the scene of residents taking refuge on the first floor. This video shows a woman's balcony being completely wrecked by the strong winds. It's completely gone. The entire balcony is destroyed. Can't hold up anymore. Everything is blown to pieces. All the glass has fallen out. This video shows a man who lost all his furniture in a room during a typhoon. It's all falling down out there. Everything's flying out. The furniture's gone. This video shows that after the typhoon, the windows of many households in a building were blown off. The areas hit by Typhoon Yagi were left in total devastation. This video shows a row of wind turbines at the coastal wind farm in Mulan Bay, Wenchang City, Hainan Province, being snapped in half by the typhoon. The wind turbines lie on the ground, and with the gray, overcast sky, it looks like the end of the world. Chinese media reports that about 5 or 6 wind turbines were broken by the typhoon. These turbines were supposedly typhoon resistant, yet they were severely damaged in the storm. The elevator of a building was torn apart by a typhoon. The outer shell and insulation of the building were blown away by the wind, leaving only an empty frame. As soon as the typhoon hit, the elevator started tearing from the top floor downward. All the windows are gone. Look at the building across the street. It's all dark. That's because the windows are gone too. I've lived in Hainan for decades, and even the locals have never seen a typhoon this powerful. According to Chinese state media, Typhoon Yagi made landfall in Hainan Province and Guangdong Province at 4:20 p.m. and 10:20 p.m. on September 6th, causing severe damage in the area. Power and communication outages occurred for many users, and some houses were damaged or destroyed. As of 12 p.m. on September 7, 2024, the typhoon had affected a total of 1.227 million people in the provinces of Hainan, Guangdong, and Guangxi, resulting in 3 deaths and 95 injuries. As the Chinese Communist Party routinely covers up disasters, it's suspected that the actual situation may be even worse than the official figures released. Also suffering in the typhoon was the famous internet restaurant in Haikou, which previously had a 360-degree view of the sea. The restaurant was torn apart by the typhoon. This restaurant was completely flooded, and all the glass in this area was shattered, so the damage was very tragic. The foundation of the restaurant was also destroyed by the typhoon, and the fences along the coastline were blown down. It's all been destroyed here, the whole road's been damaged. The guardrails along the coastline have all been blown down and are gone, not a single one of them. The entire foundation is now in this state. This used to be a popular spot on the internet, but what it's like now, it's all destroyed. It's unbelievable, isn't it? Guys, it's pretty bad. I'm surprised the roof didn't blow off. Look, the outer steps have been damaged by the wind. How could such a large stone get blown away? This is unbelievable. Do you see that? Even the steps got lifted by the wind. Oh my gosh, this is incredible. The typhoon not only overturned concrete steps, but even a van parked by the roadside was flipped over, rolling 2 or 3 times. The typhoon blew down the trees on the street, leaving the street in a mess, and some of the tree branches were on fire. It's on fire, it's on fire. The gale blew down the container truck. And blew the roller shutter door of a store off the ground in a frightening scene. The windows of the residence were also shaken by the gale. On the night of September 6th, a woman made a video saying that the building where she lived was shaken by a typhoon and she took her children to the basement for shelter. But the basement is not safe either. The eye of the Category 17 Typhoon Yagi has already reached Haikou, and the building is shaking badly. We can't stay inside anymore, so we're getting ready to take the children to the basement for shelter. The ceiling has been completely torn off, and when I opened the door, the entrance was flooded. The whole hallway smells like sewage. The decorative wood panels and metal sheets in the stairwell have been blown off, exposing the electrical wires. It's extremely dangerous. Wooden sticks and plaster are falling from the ceiling in the basement. Oh dear, it's not safe here either. Let's go, don't stay here. The electric bike shed has been completely blown over. Look, this entire row of electric bikes. There used to be a shelter like this, but now all the bikes have fallen over. A large piece of the roof of the famous Fulo Square in Hainan province was blown off. The streets are full of trees blown down by the gale. People were unable to walk in the typhoon and had to cling to the utility poles along the roadside. Rows of windows were blown out of roadside buildings and billboards were blown to the ground. Look at this scene again. In the aftermath of the typhoon, trees in the street were uprooted and smashed into vehicles on the roadside. This is terrifying. How many cars were damaged? 10. This is so scary. The typhoon is really too powerful. A large tree opposite an elementary school was broken by a typhoon, and 2 elementary school students tried to go to school through the fallen branches on the road. It seems that the local government has not suspended classes. The big tree across from Sunshine 5th Primary School. Wow, that's incredible. The cars are all crushed. Wow, did it hit anyone? That tree is huge. Wait a second, let me check. Wait a second. Oh my gosh, such a big tree, completely destroyed? Local netizens have been sharing their misfortunes in the comments. The people of Hainan are really suffering right now. Many roads are blocked and all the cars parked on the roadside have shattered windows. There's no water or electricity in the houses. No electricity, no internet, no signal. This island is a complete mess. Uprooted trees are everywhere, along with metal sheets and debris, broken glass all over the place, and cars that have been flipped and damaged. There's even flooding in the villages. The Chinese government reported that the typhoon caused 3 deaths and 95 injuries. However, the public expressed deep skepticism. 3 provinces and only 3 deaths? Some question whether the news was reporting accurate figures. Can you report the news truthfully? Why did I see reports on other platforms saying 16 people died, but here it's only 3? A netizen from Guangxi mentioned that 2 people had already died in his area. Others linked this to the dire situation in Liaoning province, with one saying, Jiangchang County in Liaoning is in a much worse condition, and no one is reporting it either. It's worth noting that the Hainan Province Emergency Defense Command Department announced that by 9 a.m. on September 6th, 418,275 people had already been evacuated. However, in light of the continuous videos circulating online, netizens questioned the authorities, asking, "What's going on? Weren't all the local residents evacuated?" This needs to be thoroughly investigated. How was the emergency response carried out? How was the evacuation done? How could there still be deaths? Normally, if rainfall reaches 50 millimeters, all residents must be evacuated. How did you evacuate them? Another netizen lamented, "What's going on this summer? We had massive flooding in the northeast, a huge typhoon in the south, and drought in the central regions." What's even more alarming is the satellite imagery of Typhoon Yagi, which has left Chinese citizens feeling frightened. On September 6, 2024, the Haikou Meteorological Observatory shared a satellite image of Typhoon Yagi. Have a look. What does the image of Yagi look like to you?